The latest member of the 2026 recruiting class for the Wisconsin Badgers football team. Very athletic piece joining the 26 group. Let's talk about Donovan Dunmore coming up next. Locked on Badgers.
You are Locked On Badgers, your daily podcast on the Wisconsin Badgers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is going on, Badger fans? Welcome to Locked On Badgers, your team every single day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Ryan Harings. Thank you for making this your first listen and being an everydayer. Today's episode brought to you by Mazda. Like every player, Mazda sweats every single details because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for Mazda's moving the game forward. Moment of the week, Mazda move and be moved. Listen, I talk about this all the time. When we get great guests on, we don't waste any time. We bring them right in. Donovan Dunmore, 26, part of that 26 class out of Clovis, California, the latest commit to this group. Donovan, man, thank you for jumping on the show. I want to start here. What does it feel like when someone says Donovan Dunmore, Wisconsin Badgers commit?
I mean, obviously it feels amazing. People actually like to say that at school a lot. They'll throw up the dub too. It's really just funny. It's nice to see.
Well, let's start here with your game. How would you describe your game? We're going to put some film up too so people can start to get a little familiar, but how would you describe yourself as a player?
I would say I like to press receivers a lot. I like to play bully ball at the line of scrimmage with those receivers. And I'm definitely a ball hawk. I do a lot of ball drills, and, I'm just good at tracking the ball.
Well, in special teams, in fact, let's put some of that film up. I think film is actually a year ago from you, but one of the first things people are going to see that are going to be watching the show are the special teams versatility, punt return, kick return. How long have you been in that role?
Ever since my sophomore year, it's up there too. Pretty much just since then.
What is it like returning punts and kicks? You have to have a certain amount of courage, like just football courage to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I like that. They're all out there to get me. I'm trying to not let them. So, it's pretty simple.
What's your preferred role? If you had to pick one, kickoff or punt return?
Definitely punt return. I like my defense out there on the field blocking for me.
That's a great answer, man. Let me ask you this, because it feels like you have the ability, if you wanted to play receiver, safety, corner. I had somebody on the show that I think I sent you the clip, Brian Smith, who does a lot of scouting, and he said this kid's just an athlete. You could put him probably anywhere. How did you end up at corner instead of maybe one of those other spots?
Definitely my Coach Potts. He definitely funneled me more towards corner. I would really like to play safety. I played safety my freshman year on JV, and then coming up, I thought I would play safety again. But he funneled me more to corner, and then, just like that from there.
What are you working on now in your game? Like, what's the next step for you that you're grinding on?
I feel like I just need to come out of breaks faster. It's really one of the only things.
And what do you do to get better at that? Are you doing footwork drills, power drill? Like, what are you working on to get better at that?
Yes, definitely a lot more footwork drills.
Okay. Let me ask you, I want to get to this clip on here in the film, and if you can see it, it's right here. I love this clip, and this is something you mentioned about being a physical corner, getting up, pressing receivers. I want to play this clip so people can see it, but you are a really physical corner, and a lot of corners aren't. Do you think that's something that separates kind of who you are as a person?
Yeah, I know a lot of corners really don't like to get physical, and that's just unacceptable in the game of football.
It's a great answer, man. What's the best game you've played in your career that you can think of?
Definitely that Escalon game up there on the field. I had 12 tackles in that game.
I love it. So, like, the Big Ten's a physical conference, right? You were just up in Madison, but you're going to have to tackle in space, receivers, running backs. Is that something the coaches talk to you about at Wisconsin, about you're going to fit in this conference because you can come up and tackle?
Yeah, they definitely said that, stuff like that too. It's a physical game. You got to keep it like that.
What do you think your teammates would say about you, your teammates right now? Like, what do you want them to say about you as a player and a teammate?
Definitely it's not even that I'm just a good football player. It's that I'm a good friend. I like to hang out with my friends. I've had a lot of the same friends since elementary school, and I just keep adding on.
And how about your coaches? What do you think your coaches would say about you?
Obviously that I'm not just a great student, but then I'm also just a great person overall.
Has it been, after you've kind of started getting the interest, you were committed to Oregon State for a while, now Wisconsin, did it feel like you had a bigger target on your back? Did opposing teams target you more?
I didn't play last week because, I mean, I didn't really need to, but I had a little minor injury going on, so I just didn't play. But I feel like definitely since I've had more interest, I've definitely been targeted more, a little bit more. Definitely more my junior year, though, because Pastor Robles, they would first play is go ball on me. So, I mean, they knew what's up.
How'd that work out for them?
I had 2 picks last year on them, so, I mean, as well as it should.
That's perfect. What I think one of the best things that are one of the things that happens as the players get better, they get older, they become more of a leader. Obviously, Division One cornerback. Have you developed as a leader? Is that something you're working on? What's your leadership style?
I definitely like to lead by example more than I lead by my words. So I just hope that I could show my younger teammates how to do it and how it should be done and keep the standard the standard.
When did you first realize that football could be a path for you? Like, when did you first start to pick up interest, or did people start to talk about that?
Definitely my sophomore year, because before that, I didn't really think I was gonna, get the college interest I had. I just thought I was just gonna have to, go the JUCO route. But my sophomore year picked up, got that Fresno State offer, and it just kept going on from there.
What's that like? Like when you get that first offer, what is that night like? Did you go out and celebrate? What is that like for people who'll never be in that spot?
I mean, of course I was happy, but I knew there was more on the table for me to go get.
Who,
I wasn't gonna
who
let that satisfy me.
let me ask you this. Where does that kind of humility come from? That idea that, all right, now I'm just going to go get the next thing. Like, is there a role model in your life that you really look up to?
I mean, no, not in particular, but it's just like, why should that change the way I feel about what I want?
Yeah. I mean, that's great stuff, man. What was the first Wisconsin contact like? I kind of want to transition into that Wisconsin connection. Who are the first people at Wisconsin to reach out to you?
It was definitely Pat Lambert. He just followed me. It was a while before they started recruiting me too. But then, he sent me the text on Twitter, and then, more text. Then it was Isaiah, and then it was Coach Haynes. I was getting phone calls, and, it just kept heating up.
What is Pat Lambert like?
Bro, he's a funny guy. I really like him. He seems like a good family man too.
Well, because you're a player that had other offers, other interests. I'll leave it to you if you want to talk about some of the other schools that were kind of reaching out. But how did Wisconsin separate itself?
I mean, it's really hard to describe other than that competition that they play. Like they play in the Big Ten. I mean, they produced the last 2 national champions, so they definitely have something going right in that conference.
And is that something you look at that schedule knowing you're going to match up against the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Penn States, the Oregons? Is that something that obviously played a role for you?
Oh yeah, my friends have even talked about it. Kids at school talked about it. Like, you're gonna play Jeremiah Smith. You're gonna like all of them. Yeah.
You could do that. I mean, because
Oh
you
yeah.
could play early. Like, what type of goals do you have when you get to Madison?
Oh, I want to start. I want to
Year
start. I
one?
want to play. Yeah.
Okay. Have the coaches talked to you about playing special teams as well?
Of course. Yeah.
Is that something that you're interested in?
Of course. Any way to get on the field.
We're going to take a quick second here and then come back with more from Donovan Dunmore. But first, a quick word for our friends of the show. Mazda crafts cars for those who want to do more than simply move. Sometimes you want to get there with a little bit of style. Sometimes you want to get there with a little bit of elegance. That's what Mazda is here for. Napa leather upholstery. Everyday drives feel like anything but in the incredible pieces of kit that Mazda is going to put on the road, that you can go out there and just get to that next spot with a little bit more style, safe, comfortable, luxurious Mazda. Like every single player, Mazda sweats every detail, because when you make every move count, impossible becomes irrelevant. Mazda, move and be moved. Today's episode also brought to you by our great friends over at Monarch Money. Monarch Money is the incredible spot that brings all of your investments into one spot so you can manage your money like a pro. It is like a personal CFO. With all your investments, your ability to set goals, to track spending, to see those little things that maybe are costing more money than you realize and how they add up over time. You can set great goals with your partner as you log into Monarch Money together. It is an incredible tool. It's something I use. It's something my family uses to track our spending, to create goals, and to be a little better financially. Right now, take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege. for half off your first year. Monarch Money, an incredible tool, something I use, and you get half off your first year over at monarchmoney.com, code locked on college. Today's episode also brought to you by our incredible friends over at Game Time. We talk about Game Time all the time, right? If in a year or two you want to go see Donovan Dunmore play in Camp Randall, Game Time is the place to get those tickets, to get the basically the access to all the events we want to do in life, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, concerts, theater. You can find the tickets to everything on Game Time. You're going to get flash deals. The price you see is the price you're going to pay. You're going to have pictures of the seats before you sit down, incredible inventory, last minute incredible deals, any type of event you're trying to get to. Right now, take the stress out of buying tickets with Game Time. You're going to save money. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKED ONCOLLEGE for $20 off your first ticket. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. You will not regret it. All right, let's jump back into this with Donovan Dunmore. Really, really excited to have him on the show today. What was Madison like? Your first impression of the school, Camp Randall, the city, game day, all that stuff?
Madison, it was nice. It was green. It reminded me just of like my hometown growing up in Quincy, California. It was like that home feeling. And then everyone else there was just electric. Like I got into the stadium. I just see everybody there. It was nice.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, this is not Wisconsin has had much stronger starts to seasons. When you look at the team this year, talking to Pat Lambert, what's the message there in terms of how you can come in and maybe help this team kind of push back to where it was?
I mean, definitely with my speed, they said that would help. And then pretty much that.
Well, and that's something when you committed, I talked about a little bit, the size, speed, length. It's a pretty unique profile. Have you been timed in the 40 recently? I know I've talked about your track times before in the 100.
Yeah, it was, I want to say either February, because it was right after I strained my groin during track season. Then I still went out there and I ran a 4.48.
Yeah, and you are 6'1", 6 foot?
They said I was 5'11" and 3/4.
Nah, you can round up on that. You can round up.
Might as well.
What are you trying to accomplish the rest of your high school year this year?
My team and I, we definitely want to go in that Valley Championship.
Okay. What kind of squad do you guys got?
Our team's young. Our quarterback, he's a sophomore, but he's sophisticated. He knows what he's doing.
Do you have any plans? And if you haven't figured this out yet, or you're not really sure, were you planning on hopefully enrolling early, or do you want to finish out school? What does that look like for you?
I definitely want to finish out my track career, Buchanan. Yeah.
Talk to me about that. How long have you been doing track? What's your favorite event? What do you want to finish off this year with track?
I first started, I think, 4th grade, at Century Elementary. My favorite event's definitely the 200 because, it's a long distance, but I'm fast, so I get to keep my speed.
And then what's your goal this year to finish off the track team?
I definitely want to enter or at least leave the track team with at least maybe a 20.9.
How does that – let me ask you this. How does the 200 help you as a football player?
I mean, it has something to do with keeping your speed and then also endurance. So, I don't really know how it helps me be a better football player, but it helps me be better at track.
Anybody else in the 26 class that you've been talking to?
I don't exactly remember their names, but it was a lineman. I think his name was Ben, but
Ben
I don't
Novak?
quite remember. Yes.
Okay. Who else was on campus with you? Was Ben there for the Maryland game?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any conversations with what have the conversations been with cornerback coach Paul Haynes? What has that been like for you?
I feel like we click. I feel like we're talking the same thing, especially because I brought my high school coach too. We were all speaking the same language, but their language was a little more advanced than mine is right now. So I still have a lot to learn.
Have they talked kind of specifically how they want to use you in this defense?
Not in particularly, no.
Okay. What are your thoughts on Camp Randall when you got in there for the game day itself?
I I wasn't really expecting that because I got there the night before to take pictures, and the stadium it was empty. But then when I walked in the next day and everybody was there, I didn't even know what to do.
I'm gonna throw a couple questions we got from Badger fans for you if you're cool. This is from
Of
DD
course.
Baller. Would you rather get a big hit on third down or a pick?
Oh, big hit. You got to go big hit because you're going to get off the field if you're just going to get off the field anyway.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, and hits fire up the crowd too, almost more
Oh,
than a
yeah.
pick. If you decleat
Oh, yeah.
somebody.
Oh, for sure.
Tori asks, what are your major decision factors to pick Wisconsin? So you talked about a couple of them, Pat Lambert, the city. Anything else that stood out about Wisconsin maybe for you?
The people all seemed very involved in the school. And then that school was huge. Like, I thought we were still going through downtown, but then I look and then I see the sign and it would say like it was part of the school.
A lot of people from out of state who haven't been to Wisconsin or haven't been to Madison, they're always surprised by Madison, the city. They think it's just going to be farms and cows and whatnot. Madison itself with the lakes, does that seem like a good vibe for you to spend the next couple years?
Oh, yeah.
Who else was in the running? If you don't mind, like, who are some other schools that you had a ton of great offers? This is from Cannon L. Who else was kind of talking to you that you were maybe interested in during this process?
Kansas State was definitely a good interest, but I feel like I definitely found a home there at Wisconsin, and I don't think I need to look at anything else.
This one is from Hooger. Favorite thing about Madison? Maybe something we talked a little bit about Madison, but anything else that stood out?
I left the hotel late. So, I was just thinking through it the day before. I went to go see the Capitol building, and I started talking to the people. And, they all seemed to, like, just love the place. So, it seemed good.
How did the coaching staff react when you gave them the news?
I'm going to be completely honest. I only told Isaiah before I even made the post.
How did he take it?
He was ecstatic. He was texting me back and everything. He was just happy. And then I posted it, and then Pat called me like 30 seconds later. But I was still in gov class, so I couldn't take the call.
You couldn't get out of the class? Like,
No.
hey, I got to take this.
My teacher, she's a little strict.
That's awesome. So, interesting. So Isaiah Green May obviously played for Wisconsin. What is he like as a recruiter, as part of that staff?
Bro, he's also hilarious. He's a goofball. Oh my gosh.
What are those conversations like? So I think people are really interested in, because a lot of people are never going to be in the shoes that you're in, a Division I athlete. Is it day-to-day conversation? Is it like, hey, this is why Wisconsin's great? Or is it more just let's connect on a personal level?
I would say it's definitely both, but the school will do both. So they'll someone might text you every single day. That was definitely Pat. And then Isaiah was more like showing me all the reasons why. Pat also did that, but Pat was also texting me every single day.
If you can share just like maybe one of those reasons, like what's one of the reasons Isaiah would send you?
I don't even remember. It was forever ago. I got to do some thinking. I feel like it was still that Big Ten thing, and that's just big boy ball.
Let me see this. What's the worst part of the recruiting process for you, having gone through it?
Definitely that some colleges are a little harsher at recruiting than others, and harsh in the wrong way.
Like, without naming any schools for sure, but like, what do you mean by like harsh in the wrong way?
For example, one school, it was the last meeting of the day, head coach. I get in his office, sit down, and then it was just a bad feeling with the conversation that was going on. It kind of felt like he was trying to force something that, shouldn't be forced.
Mm-hmm.
And, I felt it throughout that visit that they were definitely going to try and push for something, and I wasn't going to let them have it.
That's interesting. How did your family, because obviously that's a little ways from home, right? How did the high school coach, what did they think of Wisconsin and your decision?
My mom, she doesn't care where I go. She knows I'm going to be happy with the choice I made, and it doesn't really seem like it's an issue for anyone.
That's awesome. Last couple questions here. I'll get you out of here. I know, again, really appreciate the time. I know how busy student athletes are. What's something you do outside of football? Like what's a talent or an interest you have outside of sports?
Other than hanging out with my friends, I mean, I'm a really good cook. I know to cook.
Okay. So I'm a terrible cook. Terrible. If you had to make one meal to impress somebody, like you had to put your best dish on a plate, what would you cook?
I'd probably go steak Alfredo and scalloped potatoes.
Oh, dude, that sounds amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, what's the best place to eat in your hometown's Clovis, correct? Clovis, California.
Yeah.
What's the best place to eat there?
I mean, other than fast food, it's there's a couple of good ones. I really like I think it's Luna's. It's a Italian place.
Okay. Last question here. Do you have any message for Badger fans, Badger Nation, people are going to watch this show about Donovan Dunmore, what kind of student athlete they're going to be getting in Madison?
I mean, I feel like they're gonna get a great one. I mean, I'm big, I'm fast, I'm athletic, I'm gonna bully ball, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna try and do my best to help Badgers win.
I love it, man. He is Donovan Dunmore. Any social media that you would like people to follow you on? Anything you're most active on?
I'm definitely most active on Instagram. It's always .dunmore.
Okay. Go follow Donovan Dunmore Instagram. We'll put his everything that he does social media in the show so they can follow you anywhere, but definitely check him out on Instagram. Donovan, dude, thank you so much. I know we're going to be cheering along for the rest of the season.
Of course, thank you.
And as always, on Wisconsin, and we will talk to you tomorrow.